Good morning, everybody. I'm here with the amazing Psychic Liz Cross. How you doing today?
I am doing well, thank you. Just a couple of things. Some of the bookings are now back open. VIPs are open on my website, and the Ask Liz and the questions are open. Right now, everything else is closed. I'm so sorry about that. I know I'm getting a lot of emails about Liz, when can I get a reading? But truth be told, I have regular CTT clients and they're taking up all the regular bookings at the moment. So VIPs, Ask Eric and Ask Liz are open.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a health probe today. If you'd like to support the videos that I do, you can go over to my Ko-Fi page, which is a pinned comment in the bottom, and support me there. A few dollars goes a long way. I do thank everybody that supported me up until now. It's very much appreciated. I've spent a lot of time putting videos together every week. So thank you very much for that. And let's get into it. We're gonna grab RFK today.
Great. Okay,
And,
I've got him here.
and then also we're gonna grab my Mei Wen Ho, which is our usual health resident expert also.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
this guy here, his name is Ted Gunderson. He should be in spirit.
Oh, okay. I've got him here.
Yeah, he used to work for the FBI, I believe. He's a former FBI agent. Um, okay, so we're gonna ask RFK. He was asked recently, I think it was like on the Dr. Phil show or on a few other places as well, regarding chemtrails and what he plans to do about them, or if at all anything. And surprisingly, he actually responded to those questions saying that he doesn't know who's spraying these chemicals in the air, but he thinks it's DARPA. And he says it's not his department to look into it, but he'd like to. So what does he know about the spraying of chemicals into the air planes in the United States?
What do you know about chemtrails? He believes his own personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions that they do exist. And he definitely wants to get to the bottom of it. He wants samples taken. He wants to know exactly what is being, put in the air when we see those trails. He says, I need to know where they're coming from, why they're being created. And do you believe it's DARPA? Oh, 100% he believes it's DARPA.
Why does he think that?
Why do you think that? He's heard rumors
Mm,
of what they're doing, experiments. They carry out a lot of experiments, he says,
right.
and they need to be stopped. He says they basically can do what they want to do whenever they want to do it.
Seems that way. Okay, so let's ask our the person we just brought in, Ted Gunderson. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so he's former FBI. And when he was alive on the Earth plane, he was very vocal about these programs that were going on in the United States. And he seemed to have some information about it and knowledge that it was indeed happening and was being carried out. It seemed to be military. So, what does he think now on the other side about now that he has all the information about this? Is this a real program in the United States and around the world?
Hmm. Is this a real program? Yes, it is. It is. It's more so in the US. Is it around the world? I feel he's telling me it's in Australia. It's in small portions of Europe, but mostly it's in China, but mostly it is in the US. Is it in Russia? No, not so much. But definitely going on in the US.
And what does he think the goal of that program is to spray those substances into the air?
Hmm. What do you think the goal of the program is? To over time test to see how it makes people feel. So they're taking statistics on areas to see if it has a mass effect on the population in that area, is what he's saying. Are they coming down with more types of autism, more types of cancer, more types of lung diseases, things like that?
So they're trying to test a weapon?
Are they trying to test a weapon? No. But it could be used as a weapon. Oh yeah, it totally could be used as a weapon if you want to wipe out a population in other countries.
So then is there another motive and they're just trying to see the side effects from it, if at all any?
Is there another motive? I mean, the motive right now, okay, the short-term motive is that yes, they're trying to see the side effects of dumping stuff in the air.
So another word for this is called what's it called? Oh my God. I can't remember. I can't remember the term for it now. But anyways, I've seen patents behind this stuff, and one of the use cases would be for changing the weather. So, blocking, reflecting the sunlight back out to stop quote unquote global warming or, the heating of the atmosphere. Because a lot of the stuff that's in it supposedly is heavy metals. So like barium, strontium, different things like that, that can reflect the sun's heat, um, back out. So, theoretically. So is that one of the reasons they're doing it is to control the weather or try
Is
to
that
control the weather?
they're doing it? Is they're trying to control the weather? He says no. He was just, as you were talking, he was describing to me that in order to stop global warming, they'll actually, you know how like Israel and now there's talks of the US having these defense shields and things like that.
Yeah.
That they'll just build a shield in order to stop the global warming or in order to slow down the effects of the sun, and do they have those capabilities now? I mean, he says, yes, they do have the capability now. They could stop, according to him, they could stop the icebergs melting and more water entering into the waterways and things like that. But it needs somebody to take a broad stand to build and at least test this shield. And he believes that it could be done.
So why is the military, it seems, well, I'll have to ask them, is the military spraying these materials from planes?
Is it the military that is spraying the material from planes? No, not necessarily the military. You've got some private companies and is it big pharma that is? I feel it could be big pharma.
Oh, wow. Well,
Okay.
I was going to
That's what
ask,
he's
like,
saying.
where would you get the money to do this? But Big Pharma has a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, so how the,
And
yeah,
what better way to keep them in business, right?
yeah.
If you
So,
have a large portion of the population that is, being exposed continuously. Oh, wait a minute. We've got a drug that, for you,
yeah.
it keeps people. That's what he's saying. I mean, I would have never thought that this was big pharma, but he's saying, yeah, that's what keeps them in business, basically.
Wow. Very interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that before, but it kind of makes sense now. And I guess people wouldn't think it just because they wouldn't have thought that, Big Pharma would get the support to do that. I mean, obviously they have the green flag to do this, and that's like is the government giving them the okay to do it? Like, how do they get away with doing it?
How do they get away with doing it? It's all done secretly.
So the government doesn't know that it's happening. I can't believe that.
The government know that it's happening? No, not on the scale that it is.
The military doesn't know that it's happening?
Does the military know? No, because where they're dumping this stuff, a lot of times is, very remote. And
I don't know about that.
they look almost like crop dusting planes. And you know what I mean? Like
I don't, it looks like it's coming off commercial aircraft.
that's what we see, but this is some sort of other thing that he's talking about. Because I'm asking him, the commercial aircraft, no, this is something else that's going on.
I mean, then what? So what is RFK Are they talking about something different?
Hmm. Are they talking about yeah, they're not aware that this is going on.
RFK is not aware.
No,
No,
they're
yeah.
aware that there's things out there, but they don't have a clue with regards to the experiments that Big Pharma is running.
Okay, so these commercial aircraft or military aircraft that we see, I mean, people have tracked them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
w- they're not dumping the same stuff, like heavy metals, into the atmosphere.
Are they dumping the same stuff? And not the same as like what Big Pharma is dumping.
Okay,
They're dumping something else that is it less toxic? I mean, this, whatever it is they're dumping is less toxic.
okay.
It's still
Um,
toxins, right?
yeah, yeah, it's
But
low
I
level.
think,
They don't want to kill people. They just want to make them sick. Is that correct?
do they want to make people sick? No, this, what he says, okay, this is now going back in. Are they putting metals in? Yes. Now this is where we're talking about the metals.
Yeah,
So that looks like there may be two or three different things going on here.
yeah.
And
Um,
he's just exposed the big pharma thing.
okay.
Um, this, is this what RFK is talking about? Yes, this is what RFK is talking about.
All right. And so what is going on with the heavy metal stuff? Is that more trying to change the weather?
Is that more trying to change the weather? Yes, it's something to do with the clouds.
Yeah. Yeah. So cloud seeding, for instance, is something that everybody knows about, right? They actually put silver, it's like some sort of silver substance into the clouds and it seeds the clouds and then it rains. So that, I mean, every, country on earth uses that. It's well known. It's not anything nefarious. They're just trying to put, China does it like on a mass scale right now, I believe. So, in places that are under a drought, they just seed the clouds and it starts raining. And that's widely known. But this is doesn't seems to be something different. They're not using silver or iodide or whatever it is. They're using barium, strontium, and aluminum, which are very toxic to humans. But they're very reflective materials. So some people are thinking that they're trying to reflect the sun. So is this what they're trying to achieve, is to reflect the sun with these metals?
Is this what they're trying to achieve, to reflect the sun with these metals? No, this is about cloud seeding.
For what?
Why would they put this? Why would they put this stuff? Why would they need to mix this with the clouds? It produces the same effect. I feel it's a cheaper option.
Hmm. Okay, is there any military use case for this stuff also?
Is there any military use case for this stuff also? Oh, yes. And what military use case would that be? It's almost like the reflective properties of this stuff stops what he says. It sort of makes the grainy image or satellite images more grainy. So you
Mm,
can't necessarily see what is going on very clearly. Your pictures are grainy when they're taking satellite images from other countries.
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I never thought of it like that. I saw a patent for them where they were like putting it into the clouds, and then they could actually do the opposite. They could actually get a better picture of what was going on over the battlefield, because they would have the metals up there, and they would blast the metals with some sort of radiation, and then they could see like a 3D map of what was going on the ground. But this sounds like that would also work for the reverse, where you could create interference over a specific area electromagnetically. That's
Mm.
interesting. Okay, that's interesting. And that's one reason why they'd have to spray it all the time, is because now they're trying to, basically shield themselves from all the satellite imagery that's being taken for espionage. So
Correct.
is that why it's being sprayed all over like the major cities and all that stuff? Is it to block out satellite imagery from other countries?
Is it to block out satellite imagery from other countries? Yes. And to also scramble the airwaves is what he's saying as
Hmm.
well. They like to listen in on a lot of different things going on. They like to try and find government airwaves. But I'm thinking that's kind of old school. Surely to God, they're on digital now. No, no, he says it's too dangerous to go all digital. They are on old-fashioned airwaves. So also this kind of scrambles the airwaves.
Interesting. Okay, is there any, these metals are very dangerous to human beings, definitely barium, strontium, and aluminum. We know that. It's no secret. So is there any like nefarious kind of they're spraying people to make them sick type of thing going on there with these metals intentionally?
Metals, are they intentionally trying to make people sick? Not with this stuff. No, that's the big pharma stuff that they're spraying.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. And so I'm guessing that this is military that it's spraying the metals, it looks like.
Is it military that are spraying the metals? And some paid commercial airlines. They
Yeah.
commission them.
Yeah. That's what it looks like, is that there's military and there's commercial airlines that do it. It's so like that's a lot of money because they're constantly like it's running like can you confirm that it seems to be running like 365 days a year almost, like they're spraying somewhere every day.
Is it running 360? Multiple times per day. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, who
Particularly in mountainous regions.
interesting. Um, but why would they need to run it all over the place like that, like all year? It seems weird. Is it like you know, are they really just scrambling the airwaves? Is that all they're doing?
Why would they need to run it all year like that? Well, this stuff does not dissipate quickly. It actually hangs around for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Like it
It
comes
has
out
a
of,
shelf life, right?
yeah, it does have a shelf life. Yeah, it spreads out. You can see it when it's being sprayed, and then all of a sudden there's a super hazy mist that's kind of like blocking out the sun almost. You'll see it'll be like a clear blue day. These things will go by and they'll just kind of like flatten out and just kind of spread into like these clouds that are really like, thin, but like hazy. And it creates this big haze. You'll see them over a lot of major metropolitan cities. And
Hmm.
when you move somewhere, you don't notice it, but when you move somewhere that they don't spray, you're like, wow, like this is, what happened. It's pretty apparent.
Yeah.
Um,
Where I live, we don't have that stuff. So,
yeah, I've noticed it over like major cities, mostly. Um, you'll notice that phenomenon a lot more. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's ask Mei Wan Ho. I mean, what are the effects of the metals being sprayed over people on a consistent basis? Is this really affecting people's health, like the general public?
hmm, what are the effects overall? A lot more brain diseases, Alzheimer's, dementia,
Mhm.
cognitive decline, brain fog. What about the heavy metal toxins in the body? Yes, because it gets into the water supply, it gets into the food, it gets into the crops.
Yeah.
And how do humans like, how do we do a heavy metal detox? Yeah, you'll have to do like detoxes and cleansing. Are they going to stop doing this anytime soon? No. And I'm saying, well, if they're that worried about, excuse me, satellite imagery and airways, why don't they just build a shield now instead of wasting so much money on stuff like this? I mean, a shield, you need like a one-stop shop shield, right? That can help block out, UV rays maybe and block out. No, they don't want to resort to that. That's going to be so expensive. That's going to cost a lot of money up front instead of, just having a budget for it. That would take a lot of money up front and a lot of money that we don't have and most countries cannot afford to spend.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so is there going to be, I mean, this has been going on a mass scale for at least 20 years that I can see. And it's not slowing down. Like have we seen the ultimate effects of this, or is there going to be like an epidemic from this in the future?
Have we seen the ultimate effects from this? No. This is more 40, 50 years to come.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, once, people get like the younger generation gets into their older age, I think they're really gonna be affected by this stuff. Because they've had it their whole life. They've been breathing it in their whole life. Um, okay. Well,
Wow.
yeah, I guess we can stop this one here. We're gonna pick it up with part two of this probe.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to become a member with us and see all the other videos that we do, you need to become a member. Go to Patreon/remote viewing and beyond. It's a few dollars a month. You get access to our Patreon and our Discord, where you can ask questions, you can request probes, and you can be part of our community. And of course, see the second part of this video and all the other content that we put out that's not on YouTube. So it's definitely well worth it. Come join us over there. But we thank you for joining us today.
Wow. I didn't know we were doing this one today. Good grief. That's a wake up.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.